She said so casually, like she was just commenting on the weather. My therapist says, "You're the source of my anxiety." I nodded once. I see. That was, oh, no shouting, no defense, no. Begging, just silence wrapping itself around the room like plastic. Then I stood, pulled my suitcase from the closet, and began packing. I didn't even bother with the hangers. I folded, zipped, and left. On the kitchen table, I placed a single note. Problem solved. You're welcome. The slam of the front door was my final word. When we first met, she looked at me like I was the safest place in a storm. She laughed too, loudly, leaned too close, and said things like, "You make me feel calm." I believed her. I thought love was building a life together brick by careful brick. She said she wanted stability. She said she wanted someone steady, and I was that man. But slowly, her eyes changed. The spark became a searchlight, scanning me for faults. Every side became my crime. Every silence my failure. I noticed her, therapist name appearing in conversations like scripture. He says, this, he thinks that. Soon I realized I wasn't her partner anymore. I was her diagnosis. The sessions rewrote me into a monster I didn't recognize. She parroted the words as if they were gospel, toxic, controlling source of anxiety. Each label cut deeper than the last. Still, I stayed quiet, observed, learned. Her betrayal wasn't infidelity in the classic sense. It was subtler, more surgical. She turned my kindness into pathology. My patience became neglect. My concern became manipulation. I checked her phone once, not for texts, from another man, but for the trail of conversations with her friends. And there it was. He doesn't even argue. It's like he's emotionally unavailable. My therapist says it's unhealthy. The same silence she once adored had become the weapon she used against me. So I sharpened it. I didn't fight. I didn't plead. I didn't explain. I just removed myself, packed my things, emptied my accounts, forwarded my salary to a new bank she didn't know existed. She woke up to absence. No breakfast, no coffee, no stability waiting by the door. 24 hours later, the panic began. Her texts hit like desperate fists on a locked door. Where are you? We need to talk. I can't do this alone. Please come back. I let them pile up on red until the phone felt heavy with her need. Then I opened one. I can't breathe without you here. And there it was, the truth she had, buried under therapy jargon and self-help mantras. The second night, the call started. Her voice cracked through the voicemail. I didn't mean it like that. I was upset. You're not the problem. I don't know how to handle things without you. The therapist hadn't prepared her for silence. He hadn't told her what would happen when the source of anxiety removed himself completely. She wanted a villain to blame, and I gave her one. I stepped fully into that role by disappearing. Funny thing about being the problem, sometimes the whole structure collapses. When the problem walks out, I didn't block her. That would have been too merciful. Instead, I left the door ajar, just enough for her to scream into the void. Each unanswered message was a mirror, forcing her to see herself clearly. She texted at dawn, I can't sleep. I can't eat. Please, I'm sorry. At noon, the house feels haunted without you. I hear noises. I think I'm losing my mind. At midnight, please come back. I'll do anything. Please. Her therapist wasn't there to hold her at 3 a.m. He wasn't there when the pipes creaked or the shadows stretched too long. I was, always had been, until I wasn't. The climax wasn't loud. It was a whisper of realization that slid into her messages. Days later, you left because of what I said, didn't you? It was cruel. I didn't mean it. I just wanted to win the argument. I didn't reply. She needed silence more than she needed comfort. Silence was my scalpel cutting deeper than any words could. Weeks passed. She shrank in those messages. From arrogance to panic, from panic to begging, from begging to regret. By the time she wrote, I wish I could take it back. I destroyed the one person who never gave up on me. I almost pied her. Almost. But pity wasn't justice. Justice was knowing she'd crafted me into her villain, only to discover I was her foundation. She built her therapy, narrative on my back, and when I stepped away, the whole fragile tower collapsed. Now, when I look at my phone, I see the unanswered text stacked like tombstones. Each one is proof that I was never the source of her anxiety. I was the anchor in her storm, and she cut the rope herself. The irony, I solved her problem exactly as she asked. I walked away, and in doing so, I showed her what real anxiety feels like. Problem solved. You're welcome. She